there were some issues that I had to deal with that were also related to addiction. And so I've really used my recovery background to kind of start examining this and changing who I was.
James Franco is getting candid about the multiple sexual misconduct allegations raised against him nearly 4 years ago, as well as the lawsuit he faced from 2 of his accusers. The disaster artist actor sat down on SiriusXM's The Jess Cagle Show to discuss the situation in depth for the first time and explain why he chose to do so now.
At that moment, I just thought, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to pause. Did not seem like the right time to say anything. There were people that were upset with me, and I needed to listen.
Franco went on to reference writer Damon Young, who has talked about the human instinct to try to make criticism stop.
You just want to get out in front of it and whatever you have to do, apologize, get it done. But what that doesn't do is allow you to do the work and to look at what was underneath. There's probably an iceberg underneath that of behavior, of patterning, of just being blind to yourself that isn't gonna just be solved overnight. So I've just been doing a lot of work.
Franco talked about battling alcohol addiction as a teen, and how later on, after his recovery, he found that he was hooked on attention from and success with women as a source of validation.
I got hooked on it for 20 more years. And the insidious part of that is that I stayed sober from alcohol all that time. And so in my head, it was like, oh, I'm sober. I'm living a spiritual life. Where on the side, I'm acting out now in all these other ways, and I couldn't see it.
Franco admitted that before dealing with the issue head-on, he, quote, could never be faithful to anybody, and that before his current relationship with Isabel Paxad, he, quote, cheated on everyone. Back in 2018, an LA Times article published accusations of inappropriate or sexually exploitative behavior against Franco by 5 women, 4 of whom were students at his since-closed acting school, Studio 4, and 1 who said he was her mentor. The article dropped days after multiple women tweeted accusations of sexual harassment against Franco during that year's Golden Globes, where he won Best Actor. Franco had addressed those claims on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert at the time, saying in part, "The things that I heard that were on Twitter are not accurate, but I completely support people coming out and being able to have a voice because they didn't have a voice for so long." Then, when the full LA Times piece came out later that week, his attorney disputed the claims to the outlet. In 2019, a lawsuit was filed by 2 of his former Studio 4 students. They alleged, per NBC News, that they and other students were coerced into filming overt sexual acts in his class, and accused him and his partners of, quote, dangling the opportunity of aspiring actors of employment in film and television in exchange for explicit nudity, sex, and as Franco put it, the pushing of boundaries. At the time, an attorney for Franco denied their allegations to NBC News. This past June, Franco agreed to pay a settlement north of $2 million, per court documents seen by NBC News at the time. And as part of that deal, all parties agreed to drop their claims. In his interview with Jess Cagle, Franco admitted that he did have sexual encounters with his students, and when asked why he wasn't thinking about the power imbalance at play, he said he thought at the time that if it was consensual, it was okay.
Over the course of my teaching, I did sleep with students, and that was wrong. But like I said, it's not why I started the school. And I wasn't the person that selected the people to be in the class. So it wasn't a master plan on my part. But yes, there were certain instances where, you know what, I was in a consensual thing with a student and I shouldn't have been.